News 4 Jax starts right now with a breaking news alert.
This man now in custody for sending 13 suspicious packages to high-profile Democrats and critics of President Trump. What we're learning about the suspect. In just the last hour, the Department of Justice held a news conference on the arrest of the bombing suspect. Authorities have identified him as Cesar Sayoc. He has prior charges in Broward County. Here's a live report from Karen Kafa.
We got more details on the investigation from top Justice Department officials out of a press conference in Washington a short while ago. The director of the FBI, Christopher Wray, said these 13 devices intercepted in Midtown Manhattan. I'm Karen Kafa. Now back to you.
Thanks, Karen. Now, as soon as the suspect's name was released by law enforcement, News4Jax went to work looking into the background of Cesar Sayoc. Janice Harris is in Studio A with a look at Sayoc's past. Janice?
Yes, Tarek, as far as he's concerned, Cesar Sayoc is 56 years old. He lives in Plantation, which is just outside of Miami. He's been arrested 10 times and has ties to New York. Here's a look at his record. In 2014, he was arrested for petty theft in Broward County. He pleaded no contest and was placed on probation. In 2013, he pleaded no contest and was placed on probation for grand theft. In 2004, he was arrested for possession of steroids and 2 counts of possession of an unlawful ID. He pleaded to those charges, and the steroid charges were dropped. In Dade County in 2002, he was arrested for making a bomb threat. He was judged guilty and placed on probation. Today, he was taken into custody at an auto parts store in Plantation. News helicopters were able to capture footage of his van being impounded by police. You see it there. And the van was covered in pro-Trump images and anti-media messages. Sayoc's social media shows he promoted conspiracy theories, including one that the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas shooting victims were actors. We have more on the arrest of Cesar Sayoc on the homepage of news4jax.com. Tarek?
All right, Janice, thank you. Closer to home, we have a breaking news alert in Nassau County. A 15-year-old has been arrested for a threat made toward West Nassau High School. The sheriff's office says that Zachary Suber texted this picture to several students last night that showed him wearing a bandana, covering his face, and you see he's there with a gun. See the words there as well, "Don't come to school tomorrow." He was arrested for written threats to kill, which is a felony. Rain and strong winds moved through our area just a few hours ago. A live look now at the TIAA Bank Field, the site of tomorrow's big Georgia-Florida game. And many are wondering about game day weather. Rebecca's here. She's got your answer.
It was so gloomy and drizzly out there all day long. We're just now starting to see the sun peek between the clouds. No worries about rain chances either. Tarek?
Rebecca, thank you so much. All right, the Blue Angels, they got in a final day of practice before this weekend's big air show at NAS Jackson. In fact, we heard them flying over the station here on the South Bank just a few minutes ago. The Blue Angels will perform tomorrow at 12:30. They'll fly again at 3 o'clock for the flyover at the Georgia-Florida game. Sunday, there'll be one show at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. 2 city council members are considering giving money back to the United Arab Emirates, money that was slated to come to Jacksonville. The 2 voted in favor of the legislation in September. Now, last week, the UAE ambassador was in town updating us on how the $2.7 million will be spent on the north side and the various agencies to help those who had damage from Hurricane Irma. At the time, the mayor and others did not answer questions about concerns about the UAE's human rights policies. They heard from some people who say that the grant is blood money. Today, the 2 council members held a special meeting to discuss giving the money back. Early voting started today in Baker and Clay County, and so far statewide, a good number of people have already gone to the polls. 11 days before the general election, more than 2 million Floridians have voted early or cast ballots by mail. That equals about 15% of registered voters so far. Now, Florida averages 50% turnout in the midterms. No votes will be counted until the polls close on Election Day. Jaguars traveling more than 4,200 miles for the showdown in London. The team held a practice this morning across the pond. Now, some of the players did not make the trip. The Jags are wounded going into this game with the Eagles. Cornerbacks A.J. Bouye and D.J. Hayden didn't make the trip with the team. Running back Leonard Fournette's hamstring will keep him out this week as well. Culpepper's in London will have a live report in the news starting at 5 o'clock. And the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office says a motorcycle officer is okay after being involved in a crash yesterday afternoon outside the Prime Osborne Convention Center. JSO officers say that the officer was going straight when a car made a left turn from the right lane, hitting that motorcycle officer. The motorcyclist hit a pole. He was thrown from his motorcycle. JSO is reminding everyone to watch for motorcycles and remembering a 5-year-old described as the sweetest little girl. Family and friends will hold a vigil tonight for Zykeria Robinson, who died after police say she was beaten by her mother's boyfriend. Police say the little girl was found unresponsive last week inside her house at the Oak Tree Apartments. That's on Lakeshore Boulevard. Now, Jonte Harris is charged with aggravated manslaughter. The girl's mother, Michelle Canamore, is charged with child neglect. News4JAX reporter Ashley Harding has details of a vigil that will be held tonight.
And that vigil is happening in front of the apartment where Zykeria Robinson was found unconscious. I'm Ashley Harding, Channel 4, the local station.
All right, ahead of the rundown, Georgia, Florida is at the center of the college football world tomorrow. A look at some of the national pregame shows they're going to broadcast from Jacksonville. And a day that started with bad luck for one hospital turns into good luck after hitting the lottery. How he won part of the jackpot while lying in pain. And a stabbing rampage in China, what authorities were saying about a woman who injured 14 kids. We'll be right back. Now checking world news. In China, a woman wielding a knife attacked a group of kindergartners. Police say this woman went on a stabbing spree. She wounded at least 14 children as they got back from their morning exercises. Security guards and school staff were able to restrain her, and a number of kids had to be taken to the hospital.
With our 5 powerful radar sweeps, you'll know exactly what time big weather will hit. Channel 4 is the weather authority.
Just 24 hours ago, you and I sat here at this very same spot, and we talked about how the weather was deteriorating last night, and it did.
It did.
And now we hear that brighter days could be on the horizon, or
Yes.
maybe a little bit nicer.
Yes, our forecast is improving from this moment forward. We're seeing the sun peak between the clouds. The rain is swept offshore. It's still a little breezy out there. You can catch our forecast every hour on 107.3.
Quiet forecast. Thanks, Rebecca. All right, coming up, it will not be quiet tomorrow, as all eyes on the college football world will be on Jacksonville. Next, a look at some of the national pregame shows in town and what Gators legend Tim Tebow is saying about the big game. What a college football matchup we're in for tomorrow at TIAA Bank Field. Both Florida and Georgia are ranked in the Associated Press's top 10. 2 pregame shows will broadcast from Jacksonville. ESPN's Game Day Live will be at Metropolitan Park. SEC Nation will be at Lot P. News4JAX reporter Vic Micolucci spoke with SEC Nation and former Gator player Tim Tebow about the game.
Oh, yes, a lot of excitement in the air. We are in the River City for the Florida-Georgia game. Downtown, I'm Vic Micolucci, Channel 4, the local station.
Members of a lottery pool at a New Jersey hospital have reason to celebrate. They found out that they won a $1 million jackpot in the Powerball. Not big, but big enough, right? Included in that pool, though, was 87-year-old Earl Livingston. He was on his way to buy a lottery ticket when he fell and broke his hip. The staff at the hospital heard him talking about how he got injured, and they said, hey, you know what? Let's just put that guy in the pool.
Couldn't believe it. I'm telling you, I kept saying, Wyatt, I could not believe it. It's just kind and nice, and you know, it's just nice to know that there are good people still in this world. It's wonderful. We can't thank them enough.
Livingston's nieces say that their uncle is thrilled and grateful. We are still trying to find out how many people were in that pool and how much each person took home. All right, up next, it's Football Friday. It's getting really close to the end of the season and the playoffs. A look at the pep rally and fun from the morning show after the break. Tom Wills is here now to see what's coming up all new at 5. Tom?
Clark, we have updates on the day's biggest breaking news alert, the arrest of a South Florida man charged with mailing pipe bombs to prominent Democrats and critics of the president's. News4JAX reporter Vic Micolucci's cousin knows something about this man now in federal custody. He will share with us his perspective. Plus, we'll take a closer look at the suspect's van covered with stickers reflecting his political views. And an unusual punishment, public punishment, for this former local school board member who pleaded guilty to shoplifting. What Nikki Cummings' family told News4JAX while she held that sign admitting she stole from a local store. These stories and your Georgia and Florida weekend forecast starting at 5. Tarek.
Tom, thank you so much. Now here's what's coming up next on Inside Edition.
I'm Deborah Norville. Today at 4:30, what we've learned about the serial pipe bomb suspect. Exclusive video. Plus, just engaged, then their chopper pilot faints. How the fiancé took over the controls. Watch Inside Edition right after the news.
It is week 10 of high school football matchups, and there's only one more week in the regular season. Many teams are battling for the playoffs tonight. Tonight's game of the week is Bowls at Ponte Vedra. And during the 7 a.m. hour of the morning show, we travel to Oakleaf as they host Creekside tonight.
Oakleaf coming at ya! Woo! Let's do it! Let's do it!
Chris Shriver has found his niche. All right, both teams are nicknamed the Knights. Both teams are 4-4. It's also senior night at Oakleaf. Don't forget to download our Football Friday app. You can get tonight's football forecast and get directions to the game. It is free in your Apple or Android app store. I need that energy from Chris.
I know, and that's early in the morning.
Early in the morning. That guy is on it, getting those teams pumped up. So it sounds like the weather's going to cooperate possibly for some of these football games.
Oh. When we saw all the dynamics at play in the atmosphere at the beginning of this week, if you had told me we were going to have a picture-perfect weekend, I'm not sure I would have believed you. But the rain has moved out just in time. We're breezy, clearing out, and cooling down tonight. So I would grab some sleeves if you're headed out to Football Friday, not for rain, just for cooler temperatures, because we're headed down to 57, partly cloudy on Saturday, and then mostly sunny on Sunday.
And the rest of the week just looks nice.
Ideal. Could be a little foggy in the morning with that beautiful weather pattern, though.
Not a problem. Thanks for watching News for Jackson 4. We'll be back, though, in 30 minutes with more news, weather, and sports.
Inside Edition starts right now.